Welcome back to Online Darts, everyone. We're here in Ipswich, and of course we've got Adrian Jackpot Lewis with us.
Hello.
The most requested one. Everyone's like, "You speaking to Adrian? You speaking to me?" It's like, yeah, don't worry about it. We will speak to.
I'm here.
How are you, mate?
I'm brilliant, mate. I'm all good. Yeah. Been, so far tonight's been a great night. I've met some old people who I've met. I think it's 15 years ago here. So yeah, it's been nice.
I said this whole thing of taking it easy doesn't go down now. Like you're busy than ever, yeah?
Honest to God. Me and Jason have a laugh about it. He said, "I'm going to make you the busiest dart player." I said, "No, you're not." I said, I'm bloody packing in if that's the case.
Obviously, this is such an anticipated comeback. Have you got a Super Series date yet?
It's just June. All I know so far it's in June. I don't think I'm going to do a full week.
Ease you in gently.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what I need, I think. Because otherwise I need to sit up there and produce crap.
Are you excited to give it a go?
Do you know what? I'm looking forward to the competition again. Because obviously, these are competitions to some extent, aren't they? When you're playing the world's best week in, week out on these. But I think you need something just for yourself, to try to prove again.
We've seen a bit of tinkering as well. We've got a new prototype that you're having a play with as well.
We're still in the process of that at the minute. We've been in talks with Target now for probably a couple of months. Where I don't think the grip's quite right. I think it's all right for me because obviously I can change my darts all the time. Lucky enough being with Target, where I don't think the public will like them because after a short while the grip wears off. So we're just trying to adjust the grip on them at the minute.
Do you still get excited about things like this? Because I remember designing a dart. It's quite a big thing to some people, but you've been around that long. Do you still get the buzz and try, does this work, does this work?
Yeah, I really do. Yeah, I like inventing, not inventing as such, but trying to develop something new, yeah.
It's interesting to see this evolution of Adrian Lewis, which is
well,
good.
To be fair, before I was just focusing on trying to win matches, where now I can kind of tinker with things and try out different things, where normally I've just turned up with a basic pencil dart, short stem, short flight, and just crack on.
When you are in the melting pot of that professional circuit, it must be hard to go, I'm going to give these a go, because like you say there, you're playing for your future and everything like that.
Sure, yeah.
And look, there's probably a set of darts out there for everyone that would give them an extra 2 or 3%, but it's having that courage and conviction, like Peter Wright almost, to try it.
I think any good dart player can throw any dart. But can they throw them consistently enough for obviously produce the goods at the right times in tournaments? And generally that's not the case.
Look, we know you still keep a keen eye on the PDC
I do.
circuit. What Luke Littler is doing right now is
he's
just
on a different
remarkable.
level at the minute. I think he's there's only one player beat him at the minute, and that's Kessie. Everybody else just seems to be just not playing the A game against him. So I'm not sure what's going on there.
Has he got this, or has he developed this aura that Phil had, that Michael had? And I remember that people used to say they were beaten before they even stepped foot on the stage. Do you think Luke's created that?
Looking on the outside, I say that because I could only feel that like with the likes of Phil and MVG in the practice room, where I haven't been in the practice room.
Yeah, of course.
And obviously these days I don't know what goes on in the practice room. But I know one thing, like if it was when I was coming through, there's no way they'd let you have any aura because they just pounce on you.
Well, you touched on that's a very different practice room as now, like where we see Luke playing his FIFA on his phone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine you trying to do that? Someone would whip your phone off, wouldn't you, or turn it off when you were trying to play?
The internet had only just come out. But yeah, looking back there, yeah, of course. I mean, even when I used to try to put my earphones in, and players that come across, pull them out, you're like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah, look, a lot's been made of the whole Phil-Luke comparison recently, and look, you played with Phil at his best and you've seen Luke. This whole thing of people saying that Phil wouldn't compete with Luke, what he's doing now. Do you just laugh when you hear things like that?
I do, because it's a leg-on-leg pressure, what Phil used to do on you. I think, looking at watching Luke for the World Championships, for instance, his eye would be obviously above Phil's, but he's mediocre. It wasn't as good as Phil's B game kind of thing. So that's when Phil would pounce on you. So during the World Championships, you obviously try and produce a consistent basis of all the way through, where you'll have highs and lows. I was the same. I could have like a couple of sets where I'd be brilliant, and then I'd have a set where I'm not so good, and that's when Phil then would pounce on you. And Luke's obviously he's only just started at the end of the day. I know he's obviously been playing since he was 18 months, but I'm on about at a professional level. I think he's just fantastic. And he's only going to learn these things where he'll know himself, could have done a bit better than that set, but that's just a learning curve.
Is Phil being a bit disrespected, do you think? And his legacy with the way people are talking about Luke
definitely.
being compared to Phil the way at the moment?
I don't know who's actually saying these comments, but obviously they mustn't know that much about Dawes if they haven't, obviously seen Phil at his best. Because we've all witnessed these and I've been in front of it a few times. So.
Yeah, you're on the wrong end of it sometimes as well.
Yeah.
The whole game has changed, even from when you were
definitely
as morphed, and this new incarnation of darts, so to speak. What do you make of it? Are you a fan of it, or is there bits that you don't like, and so on?
I think the only thing I dislike is the lovey-doveyness. I think that can change a little bit. I think
too nice to each other.
Yeah, I think so. At the end of the day, you need a bit of needle, because that's what I mean. I might be just talking on a personal level.
I'm with you.
Used to fire me up a little bit. Well, now it's all this fist pumping. Take out a tournament and the fist pump, just get on with it, go and do your job, basically.
I remember the one where the Sky cameraman stitched you up a treat where they caught you to the old loose floorboard tapping away, and that one from behind the board got you a treat. But again, that's what you used to do, wasn't it?
Do you know what? This has gone on truth now. That would have been against probably Wade or somebody like that.
I can't remember.
I only do things like that if they do it first to me.
Yeah.
One of them people, I think fire with fire.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dare start it. I wouldn't be one of them players who'd sit there and start the thing. But then if somebody's doing something to you, you think, listen, I don't like it. I know you're not going to like it back.
Yeah, no, I agree. That this whole, like you say, needle, and is there a lack of characters in the sport now? Don't get me wrong, they're incredible players.
Yeah.
But back, I remember the glory days.
I just hope he doesn't go to all these like robots. You know what I mean? Where you're just like a repetitive, just robot. I don't like that. You need a bit of character in anything, not just darts, in anything. So, yeah. I'm not. We're looking at the players now. Obviously, you got the aspirant and people like that. I still think there's a future for it.
The World Championship prize money is rumoured to being increased very, very soon to that magical million. Now the Sky deal is all signed and in the can. What's your take on £1 million for one game of darts?
I think it's probably deserved. I think over the years, people don't realise how much you actually put into it, and all the sacrifices you do make. And for being $1 million, I think they deserve it.
Did you ever think that you'd see the day
when I started,
where you play a one game for £1 million?
I mean, I think the UK Open was only 25 grand or something like that. When I started. But no, like I say, obviously with the wheels going up, if it does go up to $1 million, and that is obviously the talk at the minute, who's to say the match play is not going to go up to 500, and obviously progress from there. But I can see it happening.
If it goes to $1 million, does that tempt you out of retirement?
Well, you know what, Phil, right, I've got on street now. Me and Gary Anderson had this argument loads of times. I never play for the money. I always say that's a bonus.
Yeah.
Obviously, titles mean more to me than the money, because I know at the end of the day, if you win the titles, the money's a bonus.
Well, we know, you're touching on Gary there, we know that you two had a great relationship. He still talks about the laughs you had. He's still winning tournaments. It's remarkable, isn't it?
He's, like I say, you've got Luke, who's a young and coming from, obviously, world champion as well. And then you've got the other side of the scale with Ando, who's knocking 70. Sorry, Gary. But he's still producing the goods, isn't he?
Where does Gary rank for you on the all-time great list? On your all-time great list? Is he right up there?
Do you know what? I haven't got one, but he's definitely up there. I haven't got an all-time great. I've seen some great games throughout the years, and I've seen some bloody rubbish ones as well. So, he's definitely up there, 100%. Yeah.
When you look back and you played in that glory age where you had Prime Anderson, Prime Van Gerwen, Prime Taylor, Barney, yourself, the list goes on. It's a real honour to play. Like we see one or two at the moment doing it, but to play in that era when everyone was doing it, that must fill you with pride now that you were part of that.
It's one of them things where at the time you're thinking, oh God, and you can tell when players start playing well, because obviously they get the tails up, and in the practice room you can see it, you think, hey, he's on a streak, is he? But it's hard, and it was hard, because I used to look back and think, good God, I've got to be playing, my A+ game here tonight, forget any chance. Certainly against the likes of Phil and people like that.
Obviously, you know, you're saying that your lad's playing and that now.
Yeah, I'm the 86.
Do all your kids fully appreciate how good Dad was at the sport? Like one of the best we've seen, back-to-back PDC World Champion is incredible.
To be honest, at home, I'm just Dad, or I'm just husband. I'm not. I don't. No, I don't.
They're not asked the questions what Dad was good at and stuff like that.
I mean, obviously the lads, like I said, just started playing the ADC, and so all the stories now are coming back from obviously years ago. But no, they don't. I'd rather that anyway.
No, it's interesting because like we see some like Michael Smith's lads and whatever take a real interest in that. I just wondered if yours had gone, Dad, you were like watch the old YouTube video where it come up and something like that. Go, Dad, was this you? Type thing.
God, yeah. What caused him trouble? That was me, son. Yeah.
How good is your lad? Can he cut it?
Like I said, he's been playing now for the last couple of years. He's averaging between 70 and 80 at the minute.
Yeah.
And you know, what I like more than anything else is the fact that he works all day. He's a farmer.
Yeah.
And he'll just drive home, have shower, straight to the venue and play from there.
Like old school darts almost.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just rock up and produce the goods.
Has he given you the Dad, we're short yet tonight?
Pardon?
Has he given you the Dad, we're short?
He's asking me all the time. I said, no, I'm not going there. Bloody hell no. Funny, they didn't come see me when I was playing bad, did they? I'm only joking.
No, but I love that whole thing of like your boy now playing and stuff like that. It's a great.
Like you say, it's you can only learn so much. It's like anything. Obviously, you get a lot of people coaching darts and everything else, but there's only a certain amount where you can coach to a certain extent. So obviously, you've got to have the ability in the first place. The Premier
League, obviously, we're halfway, and Littler's running away with it at the moment. Luke look pretty safe as houses for the O2, but the rest, it's all up in the mix at the moment.
I mean, I do feel sorry with my heart for Bunting, I think, because the first few weeks he was averaging around the 100 mark and not getting results, and a lot of it's just down to timing. Sometimes, unfortunately, that's how it goes, that starts, and then obviously then as the weeks pass, you try and put, you just end up putting more pressure on yourself, don't you? I think that's at the end of the day, that's what happens. And even though you might not think that, but you're subconsciously you're putting the pressure on yourself.
Before we let you go, this year, the way darts is going, this trajectory that it's on, where do you see it finishing? Because I've never seen anything like it at the moment.
I don't think there's any roof on it. I just think with like Sir Littler, who's, like I say, he's done amazing for the game, and the lads that what you've got at the minute at the current crop, I just think he can just keep growing. I really do. I think there's no ceiling. Just long may it continue, really.
Adi, it's an absolute pleasure
nice.
catching up with you as always, buddy.
Come on, mate, love you.